Hey guys, this is Joelle from FromScratchFarmstead.com. There are so many foods that I've always just been accustomed to picking up from the grocery store, right? How do you make these at home? It seemed really difficult. But actually, once we started kind of delving into this from scratch world, I realized that so many of those foods that we've always bought at the store are actually super easy to make at home. Sour cream being one of them. So let's make this super easy sour cream. Family party this past May, and we did this big taco dinner thing, and someone brought sour cream, and I just happened to glance at the ingredients on this sour cream container, and I was shocked by the number of ingredients that were in this sour cream, the number of additives and other things may contain GMO products. And I was like, in sour cream? But it's crazy the things that can be thrown into the products that we buy at the grocery store that we don't even think about because we think sour cream, it's just gonna be sour cream, whatever that is. So what is sour cream? Sour cream is basically cultured cream. It also is regularly referred to as creme fraiche, depending on kind of cultural, I feel like you can go back and forth on what the differences is between sour cream and creme fraiche, but a lot of it just has to do with where you are in the world and what they call it. Creme fraiche also tends to be maybe slightly thinner than sour cream, and there's also just technically maybe slight differences in the fat percentage found in each of them, but essentially they're both the same product, that being cultured cream. And so how you make cultured cream is traditionally, it was always just made by taking raw cream from raw milk and setting it out on the counter for 12 to 24 hours. After you set your raw cream out on the counter, it would thicken, it would sour, and it would turn into your cultured cream or your sour cream. Now, with most grocery stores requiring pasteurization, most people are starting with a pasteurized milk. And so if you're using pasteurized milk, it is still really simple to make your own sour cream at home. All you need to do is add a starter culture to start that process. If you just leave your pasteurized milk out on the counter, you're gonna have a nasty, yucky mess that you're gonna have to toss in the garbage. It's gonna stink. But if you add that mesophilic starter culture, then it's gonna start that fermentation process. It's gonna culture your cream, and it's gonna turn it into thick, beautiful, tangy sour cream. And so what we're gonna do here today, I'm gonna have a blog post that I'll link to below that's gonna have just all of these details and descriptions in it. And so if you get confused at any point, just reference that blog post and it's gonna have everything you need to know right there. For our purposes today, I am actually using a raw cream from our cow. And so all I would need to do is keep this on the counter for 12 to 24 hours and let it culture and turn into sour cream on its own. But we kind of have found that adding a little bit of the culture to the process really kind of helps just get things going and to really ensure and fortify that you're gonna have that right, nice, rich cream, sour cream that we're looking for. And so what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna add as my culture a yogurt, just a regular yogurt. Now, if you were using a pasteurized milk, you would probably want to stay away from using yogurt as your culture, and that's because yogurt tends to be use a thermophilic starter to start yogurt, which means it's heat loving and it needs to be heated, which is why most yogurts are made by heating yogurt to 180 degrees before making it. And so if you're using pasteurized milk, you definitely want to add a mesophilic culture. And so you can just buy mesophilic starter cultures, and I'll link below to sources for how you can buy mesophilic starter cultures. What we're doing here today is we are using a raw milk, so I'm just going to add as my culture a little bit of yogurt to get it started. This has been in the fridge, it's cold, so you don't want to heat your cream too high because then you're going to kill any of the bacteria and enzymes in it. But it does culture better if it's at more of like a 70 to 75 degree temperature. So since I'm starting with cold cream, I'm just going to heat my cream to about 80-85 degrees. You don't want to bring it to above 100 degrees because that's when you're going to start to kill a lot of those beneficial bacteria and enzymes. So you want to keep it, I usually just do it right around that 80 to 85 degree mark. There's no magic formula, you just don't want to get it too hot. And so once I get it there, and actually I'm just going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of my yogurt culture. And again, this is just to kind of fortify my cream, to add a little bit of culture to help just speed up the process and make sure that we're gonna work. So really all that needs to happen in order to make sour cream is you add your starter culture, you wanna get it to a nice warm temperature around 80 to 85 degrees, and then all I do from there is once it gets to temperature, I just try to set it in a warm spot in the house. And so I usually just put it right next to our oven, which tends to create some heat during the day. I wrap that warm cream in towels and I just let it sit then for 12 to 24 hours. And throughout that process, your cream is gonna culture, it's gonna get that good bacteria in it, it's gonna get thick, and it's gonna turn into essentially cultured cream or sour cream or creme fraiche, however you wanna describe it. And so that's it. That's the whole process of making sour cream. And then it's ready to go for any recipes you want to use sour cream for. Lately, we have been loving adding a little maple syrup to it and actually turning it into like a frosting to spread over some pumpkin muffins, or a dip to use to dip apples in. Those have been our favorites. But any way that you would use sour cream, this will work. So that's it. You can make your own sour cream at home. It's quick and easy, 2 ingredients, and you're good to go. So thanks so much for stopping by the farmstead today, and we'll see you next time.